welcome to this latest update on the progress on our MV Mobius, motor vessel Mobius. The renderings here that you'll see at first will give you a bit of an idea of what she looks like as we take you on an exterior tour. If you haven't seen it already, there's also a separate video on the interior tour, but you'll get an idea from looking at these renderings what the boat looks like and how she's set up. And we're going to start back on the aft swim step that you can see here, or swim platform. We're still working on the staircases there, so they're just kind of roughed in that are leading up to each side of the aft deck, but it'll give you a bit of an idea of the layout and be able to relate to it a bit better as you see the real thing. So let's go aboard and have a look.
So this is the entranceway into the workshop and the engine room, or the boat overall. I'm standing obviously on the swim platform, and this will be our main getting onto the boat from the tender, which is how we come and go from the boat most of the time, or the kayak, whatever, and where you probably board when you come and visit us. So nice big area here, pretty much all open. There's a set of spiral stairs that go up to the aft deck on either side, so it comes back in here, but the rest of it's all just nice and open. So for diving, for putting on dive gear, for getting off and on the boat, for fishing, for whatever. You've got a nice area to stand on that's nice and safe. We have a shower in here, so an outdoor shower, and that's the thing to use, makes it very easy to access. This over here, if you're wondering, is our hazmat locker, hazardous material locker, not open to the interior at all, watertight door on this side, and it's just for storing stuff that's either smelly or a fire hazard or something else, varnish, paint, extra diesel fuel. I don't think we'll carry any. We've got enough on board, but propane, that kind of idea. You get the idea. Or anything else we want to put in here, but its primary purpose is to have a sealed area that isn't open to the inside of the boat, and we're very happy with how that's going to turn out. And then again, a set of spiraling stairs that leads us up to the aft deck that you can see here. And now I'll give you a bit more orientation when you look forward there onto the aft deck. You see those big vent boxes, the roof over top of them, the arch, and you can just see how nice and large this area is. In here is where the tender itself is going to sit. So it's going to be about 15 meters, 5 meters rather, long, about 18 feet. The tender, aluminum, diesel-powered inboard engine on it. And it will lift off of, I will show you examples of that when we start building it, but it'll come on and off from the side of the boat, able to be stowed off out to the side. So when we're at anchor and at night, we'll just be able to raise the tender up out of the water, keep it clean, keep it a bit safer, not as easily stolen. We had the same or similar kind of setup on Learn Amphibian. It was fabulous. Goes in fast, comes out fast, safe, easy, one-person operation. So that'll work very well. And then the rest of the deck is open and clear for you to use when you're at anchor.
This rendering of the aft deck area, obviously standing on the aft starboard corner and then looking forward towards the bow, gives you a bit of the layout of the aft deck area. You can see those two big vent boxes we'll have a look at, which is also where our outside galley is going to be, with a barbecue and sink and some countertops and so on. You'll see the newly installed engine room hatch there, and we'll take you upstairs into the sky bridge as well. But show you a layout here, and you can see the spiral staircases marked in red there leading up to the sky bridge, as well as the entranceway that's leading down into the super salon. So let's go aboard and take a look.
So here's that aft door that we mentioned earlier. Depending on which way I mixed this footage, I think that was earlier. Anyways, this is the watertight door that lets us in and out of the super salon, the only entrance in and out, so it's easy to keep this watertight door and keep it well sealed off. We've got, there are actually mostly vent boxes down in here, but this will be glass. The glass will extend all the way back there. So we've got a very nice protected area here. We'll see how it works out. We could have things hanging up here, wet jackets and pants and dry suits and wetsuits, that kind of thing, because it's just so nicely protected from the rain and stuff. You can see that we've got a full roof over top that extends a long ways back aft there. This has got solar panels on top of it as well. Covers in our whole area back here to keep the elements out from us. And I'll show you in a moment here how the aft galley barbecue area is going to work as well. You can see the stairs that we've got in now going up to the fly bridge. We'll show you that in a moment here. But we think they turned out great. They don't interact with our view much when you're inside of the super salon. You can see through the stairs quite nicely, so we don't really detract from or lose much of our view. And they're just super stable. We were very surprised. We thought that straight steps would always be more stable, but we're on a couple couple of friends' boats, and most especially Ian and Colleen's boat, Summer Spirit, in Fiji, and learned from them with their boat that had a spiral staircase going up to their fly bridge, just how incredibly safe it is, because you're just locked in here in kind of like a cage. So it's very easy, not only with the handholds, but literally with the cage that's around you, just in case it gets, the boat lurches or something on your way up or down the stairs. So we're very happy with how that turned out.
Here's a different perspective for you of the aft deck area. We'll take a look around here in a minute and show you what it's looking like today. You can see these two vent boxes we speak about that are sticking up there out of the aft deck, supplying primarily air in and out of the engine room, but also gives us air ventilation into the workshop as well as into the guest cabin there. And then that's going to serve as our outdoor galley, barbecue, whatever. So let's have a look around there and see what it looks like today.
So standing now in what will be pretty much our outdoor kitchen area, these are actually, their purpose primarily is vent boxes. So this boat is meant to be able to do a full capsize and be self-righting. Hopefully we never proved that that's the case, but it's built very much with that in mind. It's one of our premier design fundamentals for the boat, to make sure that it's able to do that and do that well. Wouldn't be a fun experience, but the boat will do quite well through the whole thing. We're a different question in that equation. Anyways, the reason therefore for these vent boxes being up so high like this is the venting for the engine room primarily that we're concerned about, is to make sure that as the boat rolls, I think we have to get to about 142 degrees before the water would be up here. And if you think about that math, that means that the actual other side of the boat, the underside, is out of the water, and so now the air is, the water's not able to get in. So we pretty much have eliminated the possibility of down flooding, water coming in as the boat does its roll, if it ever does that, which we hope not to happen. Anyways, we're going to use these then to also bring venting into the cabin underneath of here, as well as the workshop. But we'll take advantage of having them in here. We've got some room within them that we've built. This cutout here is for a nice stainless barbecue to go in, so we'll be able to drill out here in the aft deck, still covered in from rain if it happens to rain on us. Always seems to be the case when you barbecue, but makes it just nice and protected for us. Countertop up on here, sink over here, and a bit more countertop in this area. So very nice space for prepping food on the outside, barbecuing, cooking when it's too hot. We'll have another burner on the barbecue as well, so we could boil water for corn or something like that and not have to do any cooking inside the super salon and keep all the heat out of there and just be out here in this great view. These posts that you see here are just temporary, as I'm sure you can tell, so these will normally be all just out of the way and it'll be freestanding. So the roof is great, mostly for shade in most weather conditions. We like the tropics in particular, but of course rain as well. We should be quite nicely protected out here before you come out onto the aft deck itself. A bit of a newer addition that's finally in place now is this large hatch here that you can see. This folds up and it gives you access to the engine room. Hardly ever required. It just is so big so we could lower and remove and replace the entire engine and transmission assembly as one piece without having to rip anything out of the boat. Again, we'd hope to never do that, especially with the mighty Gardner. It should last us longer than our lifetime and the next owner's lifetime. But in any case, just for access. And frankly, when I'm working in the engine room, I can lift this thing open and have great fresh air and light coming in there all the time. Just makes it nicer for me when I'm working down there. You also see that we've got the hatches put into the workshop now. So on either side of the engine room enclosure is a workshop set of wings on both sides, and the whole aft area underneath of here is workshop. So a nice 70mm square. What's that, 28 inches, I think? Here you can see it a little bit better with this one being open, and we'll show you the hatches as they get completed a little bit more here, but lots and lots of light. I think we have 11 hatches in the boat altogether. Another hatch over here in this doghouse that's there for headroom as you come in to the entrance from the swim step into the workshop, so more light coming in there, and then these two big workshop doors over here. We're going to make all of our hatches flush fitting, and we're going to make all of them open aft, if you will, or facing forward, and that is just keep us getting a nice breeze coming into there, and helps with the circulation of the air in and out of those spaces down there. And that's, I think, about what we need to show you from up here on the aft deck. We'll go maybe up and show you on the sky bridge.
Let's Take a walk up these spiral staircases off the aft deck and up into what we're calling the sky bridge. You can get a bit of a sense of the layout here in this rendering. You see the solar panels on the aft deck roof over the barbecue and vent box area, another 8 of them up on top of the sky bridge roof, and another set you can't quite see up near the bow in front of the sky bridge area. And then the other rendering will give you a bit of a layout of some of the where places are. The helm station you can see up in there. So let's go on board and we'll see where that thing is at today.
So as I said, we're really happy with the way these stairs have worked out. They're, of course, like everything else, aluminum welded in place, so solid as can be. Very safe as you're going up. Lots of handholds on both sides going up here, and now we find ourselves upstairs here. So I'm standing here in the top of the sky bridge. As you can see, the stairs that we just came up are right here beside me. This area will be our upstairs, our sky bridge helm. Nice big helm chair, pretty much the same as downstairs, sitting up here. We spend a lot of time when we're on our passages for weeks at a time. You're never stopping. One of us is always running the boat, so it'll be nice to be able to sit up here, be very comfortable, be able to see very well. As you can see, there's nothing in the way of the view around here, so like downstairs, but downstairs is through glass. Upstairs this will mostly be open. There'll be some glass up in front for the head windshield. We've got a nice big hatch here that we put in, partly for a little bit of fresh air and some more light coming into the super salon. Not that it really needs it with the 360 degrees of window, I guess, but there's never such thing as too much fresh air and fresh light, I don't think. But we did it more often, or more really, because this will enable us to talk to each other. When somebody's downstairs, somebody's upstairs, we'll be able to have a nice, normal conversation and not have to resort to microphones or speakers or any of that silliness. So it will just give us a way to do that, and then a nice pass up and pass through. So as we're maybe moving food or beverages or something up and down, this is the staircase if you kind of oriented yourself to the boat. So the staircase is right here. Quite easy for somebody to pass a tray of beverages or food or something up to the person up here that's on watch, or just to bring food up for having some dining up here. So that's why that hatch is here if you're wondering. The arch you've seen in previous demonstrations and blog posts and so on. This is what supports our roof over top of the whole sky bridge area as well. It's hinged so it can fold down, but and really lower our air draft, but most of the time it sits in this position. There's another sub-arch going on top of that to enclose our big 6.5-foot open array radar that's up there, and then a place for mounting all the zillions of antennas and GPS heads and lights and cameras and that kind of stuff is tends to collect. And then this is the top side of the roof over top of the aft deck galley area that you saw, the barbecue and the vent tanks and so on. And that is, of course, covered in solar panels as well. So 3 380-watt solar panels here, 8 of those same panels up on the roof, and 3 more in the front up there, and I'll show you those in a minute.
This orientation will hopefully help you orient yourself a bit as I move forward in the video to the forward end of the skybridge area. You'll see that we talk about the 3 big solar panels that are not labeled in this rendering but are right there on the far right-hand side on top of the pilot house salon area in front of the skybridge. And you can also see the aluminum framed roof that's got 8 solar panels covering in the skybridge itself, and the mast, the arch, the pair of vanes, and that kind of thing. You'll also see the handholds that you'll be seeing that are welded into the hull right now and around the roof area. So we've always got very sturdy, safe handholds on both sides. You can see the stanchions going down the far side on the left there of the deck area. So let's go aboard and see what things look like today.
And once we get upstairs into the sky bridge, you can see how it's laid out a little bit now. This area up here, the plan is to just leave it as an open space. We'll have some furniture up here, tables, chairs, a lounge, that kind of thing. And the idea is we'll use it for the first year or so and just see how we tend to use it. Where do we like to sit? Where do we like to eat? That kind of thing. Either just leave it as loose furniture, or maybe we'll decide we want to do some things to build in. One of the great things about aluminum is that it's very easy to add stuff and attach it later on. So we'll see how that goes. But we'll leave it just as a nice open space for us to have for lounging in when we're at anchor, or just watching how things are going when we're underway. Underway more often will probably be in the big helm chair that sits in this spot. This is our upstairs cockpit, our Skybridge cockpit. So we'll have the same set of controls here, again mostly with our remote control box. A monitor that probably will sit up here, a nice large one. This is all quite well protected. There's an entire solid roof with 8 solar panels over top, so we're protected from the sun. It will be able to have windows put on the side. There'll be acrylic sheet windows. We can either have them in place or remove them, depending on the weather conditions. So it's a very nice protected space up
on
here
top
as well.
in the Skybridge. We'll take a look around these side deck areas, the upper side decks. I guess they're kind of unintentionally so. We didn't really think about that at the beginning, but they've worked out great to give us an additional area to store things on, and we'll show you those. You can see now a little bit better the blue solar panels. There's 3 altogether, somewhat cut off there on the far right hand side. Then again, the roof over the Skybridge with 8 solar panels and the 3 in the back, and a different perspective to give you the layout of the cockpit up in the Skybridge. So let's go take a look around there.
Great, I won't normally be standing here when the boat's finished because this will be all solar panels. Another set of 3 380-watt solar panels sit here running lengthwise. They'll be in a frame. We're quite pleased with the way this whole design has worked out. So there's going to be a frame for the solar panels to sit on, and that frame is going to be hinged along this edge right here. And the reason for that is that we can therefore lower the frame and all those solar panels so that it's sealed off across that front edge there when we're on a passage and underway. And the air and the water and everything else just comes up over top of it without any problem. But then when we anchor, that hinge lets us raise this set of solar panels, that rack that the solar panels are on, up a little bit for 2 reasons. One, it gets our solar panels back to horizontal, which is where we probably want them to be. But more importantly, it gives us this fabulous fun effect here for the fresh air. We anchor 99% of the time, so we know the wind is always coming from the bow, and therefore it's going to come right in that underneath of those solar panels in this big giant plenum here. And then if you can get the camera turned around to see, this is a whole opening vent area here. So all that air that comes rushing in here comes here, goes straight down, and comes into the Super Salon through 3 large eyeball kind of vents, similar to what you'd have on the dashboard of your car or the overhead on an airplane, but about 1 foot in diameter, 30 centimeters. So they'll direct all that beautiful fresh air right straight into the Super Salon, but give us a super functional set of solar panels up here as well. And I must say, it's not really so much by forethought as just it worked out nicely. We've ended up with some kind of nice little side decks over here. You wouldn't use them a lot. This will be actually greater for storage. For example, we have a nice 2-person inflatable kayak we love. And when we're just going to be moving anchorages, not on a passage and going a long way, this will be a perfect spot to be able to put that kayak up here and lash it down so it's protected. Handrails here for when you're walking along the real side decks down below, and probably grandkids or kids of all ages might like jumping off the boat from a slightly higher height up on this area. So just something that makes it easy for us to get back and forth, clean the windshields up here from the outside easily if we needed to do that. But just a nice little bit of coincidence that turned out to be a really nice design in the end.
Let's finish up this exterior tour of motor vessel Mobius for you today with a look up at the forepeak. I'll start up there against the pilot house area where you see the railings and a bit of the red around that area, and show you how things are looking up on the foredeck itself. And then we'll cover some of the bow area where the foredeck hatch is now in, and the railings and the anchor assembly and so on. So let's go take a look at that.
So standing here, as you can see at the front end of the what is the Super Salon inside, the helm station that we saw is right at the front there. Nice big roof overhang to keep that area right nicely protected from sun, keep it in the shade all the time for visibility, keep it out of the rain so the visibility is up as well. You can see we're really big on handholds for security, so these aluminum pipe handholds go all the way around here, and at any point in time there's always a place where you can easily grab onto. Also helpful for lashing things too sometimes, stowing stuff and so on. This is that area we showed you earlier that's got the pulled up, pulled down rack of solar panels that gives us a great big vent area that goes in. Now you can see a little more clearly there how the air goes into that big giant vent space up there. It's a demister grill or mist eliminating grill up there, so it takes the humidity out of the air that comes through and then directs that beautiful fresh air coming off of the bow when we're at anchor right into the boat or when we're underway. But more often when we're underway, this will be closed because the lower those set of solar panels down, they'll seal off against this edge, and therefore the wind and the water just gets directed up over top and everything else stays nice and dry.
My apologies in advance for the audio quality in this next video segment. Things got pretty loud in the shipyard, as you're about to hear. We tried to get most of it done at lunchtime, but we didn't quite succeed. Anyways, we'll finish up on the foredeck here, area of the boat. You'll see these railings, the dolphin watching seats, the anchor layout, the new hatch going to the forepeak down below that you can see there, and you see the dorade vents displayed out there, and a view back to what you've already seen with the pilot house and the sky bridge. So let's go take a look and see what the reality looks like.
So you can see the other big change that we've got up at the bow. This is the last update we did for you, is that we've got the hatch starting to be put into place for the entranceway into the forepeak. The forepeak is huge, 4 meters long, and the full width obviously of the boat. Great for storing lines, fenders, miscellaneous stuff. We've also got some tanks in there, like a blackwater tank and a few pumps for windlass for taking the anchor up and down the steer, a catching anchorage here. But this will sit up top here, all insulated and sealed, of course, to be weather tight. Give us great access in and out of there. You see also that we've got the pipe railings. We've got the pipe railings in now, so they're all nice, sturdy, 40mm, 5mm wall thickness aluminum pipe. So great area. There'll be 2 dolphin watching seats, one here, one on this side. This is also going to be my favorite seat right up at the front here, because that stays open like that, and you can sit nicely enclosed in there to the furthest thing forward on the boat. And this is a fabulous view when the boat's underway or it's under at sea. This is where the anchor tank will sit, and the anchor rests against those seats down there. This is on the Saxon post here, and our nice big drain and area for the snubber rope to go through that big nose cone that you see up there. You can see also how well sloped this anchor actually is. So all the mud and the stuff that comes in with our anchor, and when we're rinsing off the chains or after it doesn't get rinsed off before it gets up here, is very easily rinsed off and can just get out to the front there. So very happy with how the bow is turned out.
I haven't shown you the outside of the hull for a while, so we'll give you a quick update tour back here. You can see how those stanchions work now for the the stanchions up on the deck there where the lifelines run. Although these ones here you're seeing are where the 2 big posts for our cleats go. This rub rail is made out of a single plate of 10mm thick. I think that's 3/8 of an inch aluminum that's been bent and then, as you see, welded in, so super strong. And this is where all of our stanchions, or in this case the posts that you can see up here, come all the way down through Delron sleeves, so they're nice and separated from metal to metal contact, and make for a very, very strong setup. And you can see the rest of the hull that you've seen in the months go by up here. And we'll take you up and show you the new addition on the
bow. Is this side right here. This is our bow thruster tube. Nice big solid 15mm thick tube that goes all the way through. You see, if you want to move the camera around here, you can get all the way through. What pokes inside of there is a big set of blades on a large 24-volt electric motor, and that just gives us side thrust either way to help to control the bow. So this will get all welded up and filled in. This will get cut out here for a little bit more fairing, so the water flow stays nice and clean when the water comes past this opening here. But this gives us, frankly, we use this thing, we kind of hope almost never to have to use it, but at best we typically use it maybe once a year. But it's one of those things, kind of like insurance, when you need it, you're really, really glad you've got it. This boat's long, 80 feet long, and pretty good windage with the height out of the water, about 6.5 feet from the water line up to the top deck there, or the top of the deck. So it's pretty easy for a blow, 15-20 knots of wind in cramped quarters to get that bow and take it away from you. You can't really control it many other ways, but this guy can really do that. So that's what this bow thruster and what this tunnel is for, and you'll see that get welded in and faired in the weeks to come here. been seeing quite a bit of information in the blog about the hatches that we're really, really happy with and excited about, that we've designed up ourselves just to be able to get them the way we wanted them, and to get a design that we just couldn't find anybody to build, at least for a reasonable cost. So we're doing it all in-house, and they're turning out just great. What you're looking at here are the lids. So this is the top surface. This is all going to get covered in 15mm thick glass, and that gets bonded to this. These tabs that you see here are for where the handles, the dogs that pull that down and seal it off very nice. And inside here, they're just getting this all set up, and they'll weld around here as well as a continuous weld around there. They're just tacked in place now, so we could fit them, make sure they fit nicely, and then we'll do the continuous welding and clean that all up. But you've been really, really happy about the way these have turned out, and you can see the rest of the lids stacked up here.
And that wraps up our video tour of the exterior of motor vessel Mobius. Hope you enjoyed it. A little bit long, but don't forget you always got that fast forward button to jump over things, but hopefully it provided you some more details and a bit better sense of where we're at. This was shot on May 4th, 2019, so we'll do another video update in a month or something like that to show you the next range of progress as we start doing the interiors and things like that. Anyway, thanks very much for taking your time to join us. We really love having you aboard for this journey, and we'll look forward to bringing you the updates of what's going on next week. Thanks very much.